but we're trying out some new a new arrangement of this deck and a few new cards. So we've got Kiki-Jiki and Restoration Angel as our combo. As everyone knows, Restoration Angel will combo with Kiki-Jiki to make infinite Restoration Angels and kill your opponent. And we are playing an 80-card deck, which in theory makes that harder to do. However, we have both Eldritch Evolution and Bring to Light to tutor for Kiki-Jiki or Restoration Angel, although there are 4 Restoration Angels, so we should be able to find those. But since we're already playing Eldritch Evolution and Bring to Light to find those pieces, we get to play creature, tutor, combo bits and pieces all over the place. We've got a stunning array of singleton cards that we can tutor up, or sometimes they're even 2-ofs, because things like Eternal Witness are just generally good value cards, but they're also good to pick up with Bring to Light sometimes. Bring to Light, of course, can also get sorceries, which is why we have 1 Time Warp. It can get the flip side of Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter, off of Valki, God of Lies. And then we have a few tutor targets in the sideboard, which you can Bring to Light for exclusively, and or Eldritch Evolution for, with some of them being creatures. Some of the newer things we're trying out, Avalanche Riders. Now that we've got some Ephemerates, Avalanche Riders is an incredible way to win some games of Magic. A newcomer from Strixhaven's Selfless Glyphweaver. So Selfless Glyphweaver is 2 and a white for a 2/3 human cleric that has a very similar bit of text to Selfless Spirit. So Selfless Spirit, of course, sacrifices to give creatures you control indestructible, and Selfless Glyphweaver does the same. But also, if you Bring to Light for this card, you can get the card Deadly Vanity and cast that. It says, choose a creature or planeswalker, then destroy all other creatures and planeswalkers. So we've got a Wrath that destroys not only other creatures, but other planeswalkers. We do have to choose one that stays alive, but if we're going to do that, we're going to do that in a way that's going to benefit us very heavily, either by choosing Omnath or Restoration Angel, Kiki-Jiki, or maybe Tibalt, Cosmic Imposter, maybe Teferi, Time Raveler, if that's what we have in play, and then rebuilding better than our opponent can at that point. There's a lot of little things in this deck all over the place. One of the biggest changes is no Abundant Growth. We're now playing Noble Hierarch. Davius sort of identified this as a way to make sure we get rolling early. So instead of playing 8 cards, of which 6 are acceleration and 4 are fixing, we're now playing 10 cards that are acceleration and some form of fixing. Sprawl, of course, sets to a single color. Birds of Paradise can be tapped for any color. Noble Hierarch for the Bant colors of white, blue, and green. So it'd be interesting to see if that makes the deck feel more powerful or more vulnerable in a bevy of different matchups. And then we still have main deck Magus in the Moon, Voice of Resurgence, Scavenging Ooze. So we've got a little bit of hate for all sorts of cards, or all sorts of decks. Magus in the Moon especially can just hose any 2 or 3 color deck with a sort of sketchy mana base. You can sort of instantly win the game all of a sudden if they're not ready for what you're about to do. Sideboard has some cards for aggro and burn matchups, some cards for sort of mid-range creature matchups. We got Avalanche Riders, the second copy. This could be used against big mana or maybe even control sometimes, especially with Ephemerate to destroy multiple lands. We got Veil of Summer for black and blue decks. Kunoros, Hound of Aetherios. This is a concession to Dredge. We don't have a huge amount of Dredge hate, so hopefully we can make it through there. And I'm trying out a Comball console allocation. This helps you against things like Storm and Prowess. Not huge benefit against those, but Eidolon of Rhetoric, which makes it so that players can only cast 1 spell per turn, unfortunately shuts off our Bring to Light, so it's not really a great option here. Oh yeah, Toronto's a real city. You can get mugged in Toronto. Oh, long matchmakings in the last little while. E Principe now up to 12 trophies. Goodness gracious. What a streak. All right. On the draw here, I'm going to keep this hand. It's not the best, but we got turn 1 acceleration into turn 2, hopefully something. If we get totally hosed, well, that's definitely not going to be the best, but Rage and Ravine. Okay. Well, really hoping I don't see Ren and 6 here. I don't really have an option but to play into it. I'm going to fetch green white first, and then the second. The worst fetch land in my hand is this Wooded Foothills, so we'll fire that one off. Okay. No Ren and 6, please. No Ren and 6, please. Hey, Roy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, thank God. So I could play Skyclave here, or I could play Voice of Resurgence, and then next turn Eldritch Evolution, the Voice of Resurgence into an Omnath, etc., and kind of go off pretty hard. If they choose to play a Liliana, that actually kind of works out, kind of doesn't. Really just depends on what's in their hand right now. I think I am incentivized to do that because my mana is going to be pretty well set up, and I can fetch a one of the Triomes here, sort of get our mana really set up for the next little while. I'm not blocking that shit. Are you kidding me? Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push could matter here, but it really depends on what they target. Yeah. Yeah, Voice is quite the card. Ooh. Okay. Hey, it's not the end of the world. I don't get to do what I wanted to do, but it's not the end of the world. The savviest of Triomes is unobtainable here. That's fine. I don't need to worry too much about what mana I'm getting, but since I have white, green, blue, red is probably a good idea, and then the Windswept Heath will give me the second white. And there's nothing that costs extra of any of those colors except for Kiki-Jiki and Time Warp, I believe. Yeah. Double white is by far the most common cost in the deck. Oh. Yeah, that's the card we play now. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, I don't think I can afford to keep taking like just huge smacks of damage from my mana. The question is, what land am I killing? I think it's the Blood Crypt, because they may not have double black. At minimum, they're not going to have enough mana, raw mana for Bloodbraid Elf this turn, and that's kind of the most important thing, because they really didn't have a spectacular turn 3. So I'm assuming that they're their 3-mana plays are not the best. I'm hoping they tap out for something here. Liliana would be kind of ideal, because then this is kind of what I didn't want to see. They just held up all their mana. And the reason I didn't want to see it is because I want to resto this Avalanche Riders. But somehow I feel like it's not going to go well, because every piece of removal in their deck pretty much will blow this out. So I may just have to let this die. I suppose I could just pay the Echo, but I'd rather get the Restoration Angel into play. And to be perfectly honest, if they do have removal here, it's not the end of the world for me. Oh, they didn't have it and they conceded. Good times. These are the good. Kinda resto Stonewall's Glyph, though. I wouldn't count on it, Shauna. Also welcome. I just would never count on resto stonewalling the Glyph. And if I can not like sacrifice the Restoration Angel in combat, I want to keep it, because if I top deck a Bring to Light with 5 mana, I can just win the game on the spot. So it's like kind of tricky. I think I want some Path to Exiles, although I'm not 100% sure what we're cutting here. Scavenging Ooze is fine. Magus is not so good, with the specific reason being that they'll usually have a Lightning Bolt up. Selfless Glyphweaver, I kind of want to try this out. So Roy, I don't know if you saw this, but I think you'll be enthused about the B side of this. A princely visit to these faraway and stern parts of Twitch chat. Yeah. Roy was here. I don't know if he is now, but he was. I think I definitely keep an Avalanche Riders. Don't think Time Warp is a good idea against the deck that's going to be like beating me. Selfless Glyphweaver. Selfless Glyphweaver, yeah. And then Roy was here. RWC, man. Or RWH. I don't know why. RPWH. That would be the emote. RPWH. Roy P was here. Maybe no. Eldritch Evolution's fine against Jund. Maybe it's like the second Charming Prince, just because getting myself blown out is not the best. It's possible I should have boarded out some of the ramp creatures, because I have boarded out a good amount of action here. It's like all 6 cards that I boarded out are action, but like Path is good. So like we could get ground down by Croxes, I guess, is the way that I've stacked my deck. But on the flip side, Veil of Summer is like just the cheapest 2-for-1 in the world, so. Well, it's also, there are 3 Eldritch Evolutions and 4 Bring to Lights, Shauna. So there's 8 Omnaths in this deck, which is the same number as Niv Mizzet. The Niv Mizzet deck has 8. We have 8. Bye, Roy. Opponent keeps their 7. Keep my 7. Grand Arbiter Augustine the 4th. Just use the first Omnath eating a removal spell. Yeah, but in this deck, like, there's a lot of stuff that's going to eat that removal spell, so it's not really... Like, you don't... There's plenty of stuff that's going to die to their removal, so you've got room. Boo-doo. Baby-doo. Boo-doo. Baby-doo. Really? Huh. Yeah, I guess. I said a hip hop, hip it in the hip hop, and you don't stop or rocking to the bang bit. To the bang veil of summer. Oh, opponent, I haven't had enough coffee, please. I mean, in theory, they have enough removal and things like Liliana to have me discard stuff like eventually creatures that they'll get us on the pain train. I'm grabbing a water bottle on this gratuitous break. But they figured their shit out? They did. Sorry, someone was at the door. NP. Alright. We drew a Restoration Angel. Not the best draw. Oh, Shauna, I'm so sorry. I didn't. I wasn't planning on streaming this afternoon. Davius sort of talked me into it and then abandoned me. I didn't boot up everything properly. Give me 1 second and you will get your free hammer time. Little soundboard is just getting hooked up now. There we go.
It's hammer time.
Okay. I'll shock this just to have flexibility on my mana on the next turn. Wall of Omens. Cantrip. All right. We got the 4th land, so we should be in the money. Man, they love not having Liliana. It's awesome. Now they can't edict me with it. I already have my Savai Triome, so what land do I want next? In theory, something that taps for white. I can fetch a basic plains with this, so let's just play the Steamy Vents, tap ed, and then just keep slow rolling this game. Falstad or Murden? I think it's just the Griffin Rider, right? I can look up what the clip is named. I think it's just the Griffin Riders, because that's why there's the just the normal unit. Got the sure shot MC to the affair. It's Falstad? Is it? I ain't know. Press F for Heroes of the Storm. That game was dead on arrival. I don't think they designed a particularly good game. I'm not a game designer, but I played a lot of Dota 2, and you think it's the best in the genre? Well, for me, it was always Dota 2, but if you enjoy it, you enjoy it. I mean, lots of people like League of Legends, and I couldn't get on board with that at all. But you know, doesn't mean it's a bad game. This needs to be. I need another. This is red, blue, green, white. And I'm probably just playing Resto this turn. Did a lot of League in 2011-12. Nice. Lol. LOL's a good game, but again, it's like for me, it just felt like baby style Dota. I didn't want simplified Dota. Dota was the sort of the height of complexity on Motos, but without having gone too far, it felt like for me. What I'm saying is that I'm an elitist douchebag. Yeah, that's correct. That's 100% correct, Shauna. But it's not that speed does not make a better game, in my opinion. Yeah, the skill cap in HOTS, just the amount of things you could do was just so much more narrow, and that's not the experience I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's, you know, really complex and crunchy, and like, you know, your build decisions, your play decisions, your, you know. I remember specifically I had a bunch of friends and they were like, "Oh my god, but you could play like 3 matches of HOTS in the time you play a match of Dota." I'm like, "Yeah. What? Why are you saying that like that's a bad thing? Like that's a bad thing, not a good thing." Like with the idea being that like the match of Dota, like granularity from the beginning to the end with political preferences. Is Dota for the conservatives? That would be my guess. Conservative long-term investment. All right, in my mana base, is there a black mana that I can fetch with this now? I have the Overgrown Tomb in play already, and the Savai Triome. There's not. So I can't bring to light for 5 this turn. That's just not possible. Even if my Omnath does get to generate mana, which it might not if they have a push. However, instead of that, what if I play Hierarch, put Urian in my hand, and try to win the game next turn? A little conservative, but considering the way they spent their last turn, it's probably okay. I'm just not even attacking. I could do for 4, but they're gaining life off their Clothis if they want to be. So yeah. The Reachers was shit, so this would probably mean this. Yeah, and like that's not true, right? Because in Dota, while you can carry, a good team that's working together will beat almost any carry. So it almost is that. Oh my god, that sucks. That really sucks. I was not expecting that one. On the plus side, if they activate it, I can just attack it down. They activate it. Why would you activate it? I can kill it now. You fool. I'll take one. Oh yeah. I mean, there's a reason why I did it. I don't know what happened there, but we won. Hi, Jiggy. Jiggy, I was screaming for you last night, though I can't remember in exactly one context. I think I was jamming through the breach with Emrakul into their, like, 5 mana. And just, like, being like, listen, if they have it, they have it. Who gives it? Who gives a flying flip? Alright, this hand is slow, but I'm on the play. I got stuff to do. So we get the Savai Triome first. The Plains is going to get a... the Prismatic Vista is going to get a Plains on 3. So Misty Rainforest is going to get me a Forest on 2, most likely. Aether Vial. Very well. Target acquired. Sorry, target acquired. Shields up. Weapons online. Well, I was playing. I've been playing a bunch of blue-red through the breach jig, and sometimes with deck you just gotta go. It's just like, well, they have all this mana. Some of it is blue, but oh, whatever. GQ. These are fine. So, essentially I have to get rid of that Thalia. I mean, I don't, but she makes playing Bring to Light pretty untenable, I guess I'd say. Although if they just have another one. I think I'd really rather... I mean, I'd rather kill their Aether Vial. I'm going to do it, but this can go horribly awry. But just reducing their mana advantage is going to be something. If they just have Arbiter into that Ghost Quarter, I could get in trouble very quickly. But we'll see. Skyclaving the Thalia wasn't going to help me on that access anyway, so it doesn't... neither here nor there, really. Shit. No GQ. Okay. So choking their mana was relevant. Good. Good. I could group block here, but they can give her protection from whichever one they don't kill, so that doesn't matter. Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, everything about their deck is a problem for us, isn't it? Okay. When I grow up, I want to go to Bovine University. Ready for the watch party tomorrow, Emma? You got all your ducks in a row? Oh, this is incredibly smooth. You're a very smooth person. Or as I said previously, shiny and manageable. But Emma's more than just some floofy mane. Unhinged lands stole your heart. Nice. Unhinged are gorgeous. I have a bunch of Unstable because that actually came out while I was playing, so I had money. Oh yeah, the Vald. I think that one's not legal for tournament play, Shauna. It's a very interesting story from sort of the policy and judging perspective. Don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly certain you're not allowed to play those in tournaments. Scottish Plains being the best? Well, obviously. It's great. The Great Plains of Scotland. In battle, you put on a full sequin gown. The idea being you've got to blind your opponents with luxury. Kangaroo Plains? That's awesome. I love that. All right. I mean, we're getting there. Because if I go get a creature with my Bring to Light, I can play that without a Thalia attack. So right now, Bring to Light costs me 8 as long as what I'm getting is a creature. So that's okay. Their Aether Vial is only going to 1 this turn, so we should be okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Nothing goes horribly awry. Oh. Well, something's gone horribly awry. Excellent. Love that for me. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing I can do about that one. Can play Urian next turn. No, I cannot. Because the Archon's going to make my land come into play tapped. Shoot. Man, that Taxes deck is really good. You should do an episode of the Budget Magic cast about taxes. Oh, wait! You did! I think just a lot of people have a hard time figuring out how good cards are going to be before they've come out. Like, and then they get a chance to play with them. So it doesn't surprise me too much. Man, I need to deal with some of their stuff, and I have just no way to do it. I mean, Sky Needle's going to help a lot, actually. So, just need to get to that next turn. Archon came in perfect time to stop me from casting either Bring to Light or Urian there. Now they're going to have Violon too, which is extra scary because there could be a second Arbiter here, which would be bad. Okay. That'd be bad, okay. You shouldn't play Archons because Archons are bad. I mean, even just on face value, like Abundant Growth, like not Abundant Growth, Abundant Harvest. You get to get whatever you want. Is it land or not land? And there's just plenty of situations where that's exactly what you need your card to do for you. Okay, that's a good draw. That's a very good draw. When it was 7th turn, I drew some very good cards. No, not that good. Still good. But not that good. I mean, flicker my board and get the thick boy into play is the best thing to do, I think. Yeah, and I have mana up to pay for Ghost Court if I have to. You jerk. You know, you're making this very, very difficult, opponent. My taxes opponent isn't making my game easy. Rude. So sad they changed Arbiter in paper ruled a bit ago. How's that? I have interest as a judge. Because I don't remember hearing about any rule change to Arbiter. Really? What's the plan there? Oh, why would you do it that way? Attack you, wait on the stack. Path to Exile. What? Why? And now they have the Aether Vial plus the Archon. So I can't bring to light still. In play, you have to remind them to pay 2, or that's a Q-neg strike on you. I don't think that that's correct, but it could be. It just doesn't sound like something that's ever actually changed in a Magic ruling. Yeah. Not sure on that one. Oh, I can't bounce their Archon anyway with Teferi. Because of the Giver. Man. Freaking taxes, dude. They're the tax man. Whoa, whoa, whoa. They're the tax man. Doom, beam, ba-doom, beam, ba-doom, beam, ba-doom, beam, beam. Alright, well, you might as well bounce the thing where I can actually draw a card. You almost got DQ'd because you forgot it. Okay, I mean, I want to believe you. It just, that doesn't sound right. That really doesn't sound like the kind of thing that would be enforced like that. Alright, so I can play Ephemerate on their turn to draw a card off Wall of Blossoms. Cost me 2 mana, but whatever. There's literally no cards in graveyards for me to use Scavenging Ooze on, which is a huge pain. Not dying too quickly, but quickly enough. Okay. They held priority. Of course they did. I was wondering if they would remember to play their card correctly. I need some insane draws here. Should I use this to draw a card this turn? Might as well. Very low likelihood that I'm going to mess myself up, draw something that I actually needed to play this turn. Nope. 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 Alright. I think we're just dead. Like, I can't... Nothing is going to my damn graveyard to grow the Skoos. Like, I guess I could chump block with the birds. So that'll give me another turn to draw probably another birds. I got a Batterskull coming in that doesn't really matter. So... This is just a brutal matchup, my god. I've mentioned it enough times, but... I suppose if I drew an Eldritch Evolution, that would probably be one of the best things I could hit here. Do not know why they're... Oh my. I was like, why are they putting this Batterskull in now? Oh no. It's not a Batterskull at all. What the hell? Are they seriously doing this again? Attack you, wait, hold priority. Yeah, they are. They could have done it before combat, but nope. They wanted to commit their creature without knowing if I would have any kind of response. Not for any good reason. Just cause. Just cause it was probably the jerkiest way to do that. No, not really. What a game. Jesus. Alright, so let's play some paths. And Windborne Muse could be okay. I guess Teferi Time Raveler on the play. Just taxes things, exactly. I don't, Shauna, I'm not seeing any change to policy on Leonin Arbiter. So, it's not impossible, that you were just at a tournament where the judge staff was sort of running it that way. That happens. It's not supposed to happen, but I can't find anything that leads me to believe that is correct. Or sorry, Phoenix, sorry. SCG open? Alright. When? It must, so before the lockdown, I guess. So at least 18 months ago or so. Huh. Three years ago. Huh. Yeah, I want the B side of this available. Yeah, I just don't think that that's correct. Sorry. I know. I'm supposed to be playing this match here. I'm already behind a clock, so I really need to do that. I'm just very distracted. Phoenix, as far as I can find, that's not correct, and it wasn't correct 18 months ago when I was last judging. So I don't know what to tell you about that. That's not correct. They shouldn't have been doing it that way. As far as I can see, that is very not okay for them to have done it that way. So. It's not a magical place because, like, I've been a judge for long enough at this point that it's not, like, reading through rules stuff for me is not, like, super exciting most of the time. It's just like, all right, just trying to find an answer in a sea of, you know, sometimes a lot of nonsense gets submitted and answered by people who don't know what they're talking about. No, no. I mean, I lost to taxes in game 1, but that happens to be with most decks I'm playing nowadays, right? But Phoenix was talking about rulings changing with Leonin Arbiter, and I just can't find any evidence to that effect. I just don't think it happened. I think there maybe had been some judges that were running it wrong, to not mince words. Reading the comp rules was your secret superpower? Yeah, I mean it's not a joke, man. It's knowing the rules of the tournament you're going to play in is a huge deal. And well, Phoenix was saying that you need to basically warn your opponent before they search. And that's just not factual in any sense of the word, as far as I can understand it. Okay, so this does not work out for me. They have fields. Their hand is nuts. Holy crap. Like, this hand is unbelievable. Yeah, it's really bad for me. No, it's all good, Phoenix. No problem. It's not your job to describe this stuff. Right, and like the reason that Leonin Arbiter is such an annoying card in paper, I mean, and online, but in paper especially, is just the way that window works, sort of, where it's like the fact that the tournament shortcut, for good reason, is that you when you cast a spell or activate an ability, you pass priority to your opponent. The active player does. Like, that's in place for a reason, but in this particular situation, it's just like really beneficial to the player of one card and not to the person on the other side of the table. Too long, didn't read. The cat screws things up as usual. Correct. The cat knocked over everyone's MTG pile. Goddamn that cat. If I were in play, I play Path to target exiling their creature. They're tapped out. Do I remind them that Path allows them to search for a basic land? So the weird thing about that is, in one way, you are supposed to remind them. Because it's a downside on your card. I mean, are you asking me as a player or as a judge? Because you're going to get different answers, Offbeat. So as a player, I would jokingly remind them, hey, you're supposed to search for the path, but I have an Arbiter, so you're not going to be able to. Unless the match is kind of tense and they seem like they don't like me. You know what I mean? Like they're not happy about what's going on. In which case I wouldn't try to antagonize them or do something that could be seen as antagonistic. Do I want to play Omnath here? Sorry, hold on. What can I BTL for that's like particularly good? As a judge, I believe you are just technically supposed to tell them. And then as fast as you can, if they start to pick up your library, you go like, wait, you haven't paid for Arbiter. I think getting ahead of it just makes sense in both cases to expedite the speed of play and not to be like trying to like intentionally GRV your opponent.
Compadres, it is imperative that we crush the freedom fighters before the start of the rainy season.
Yeah, it's scummy, but it's technically correct. That's the problem.
Brings me the head of Colonel Montoya.
As a judge, I have to tell you, like, this is what policy says you're supposed to do. Like that, it's not it's not fun, and it's not meant to be funny. But it kind of is. So, did I see a path in their hand? No. Okay. Oh, it's all good, guys. You can always ask about anything you want. It's my choice to get distracted with tangents. I kind of just grab Eternal Witness here, which is like super low power. No, I'm supposed to do something bigger here. Let's get Omnath. Yeah, that's not what I wanted to draw. All right. And group block with these two. They quit their Batterskull next turn. I'm pretty happy. You should always call a judge if your opponent goes to search. That is the policy. Again, the policy is you should always call the judge if your opponent breaks a rule, basically. And in that case, that is breaking a rule. They are doing something that the game is explicitly telling them they're not allowed to do. Yeah. But the question is, how much do you want to facilitate good play between you and your opponent? And just to sort of, what do I want to say? Like, good social atmosphere between you and... Yeah, I knew that was in their hand. I knew that was in their hand. Luckily, I hit anyway. This is about to suck for me. Yeah, and I tried to go big by playing the Omnath last turn, but it just didn't get anything. I should have done the Kiki-Jiki, but I was just... yeah. But obviously I shouldn't have worried about Kiki-Jiki getting Skyclaved because it's too big. Jeez, come on, deck. Reminder, though, this is multiple times already where I've had problems with this deck because I played a Urian and I flickered a Noble Hierarch that would have been an Abundant Growth before, and I just didn't... Because some players might angle shoot you and say I was actually just shuffling my library. I don't think they have to shuffle if they didn't search, but it depends on the card. Well, this is a problem. It does depend on their card. Jeez. Oh, we're cantripping. We're going to draw a BTL or Evo, I know it. Nope, even worse. Oh my god, brutal. Brutal. Need to draw Ephemerate or something here, but I might just end up dying first, unfortunately. I got double Field of Ruin going. Yeah. I mean, I'm nice when I'm playing anything offbeat, and I try to be, I don't know, educational about what my deck is doing and not exploitative, which makes me a bad Taxes player. Which is why I don't play decks like that in competitive REL, because I just don't want to. They flickering the Batterskull? No. Flickering a Hierarch. Weird. Oh, the Stoneforge. I don't know why it looked like it was targeting the Hierarch. The Stoneforge. Are you kidding me? Jeez. What a rip. They've got triple... Now I don't have a Skyclave, and my BTL is basically going to give me nothing, so... Need a pretty grotesque rip here. Yeah. Just getting beaten by Taxes in my deck that's all about searching and stuff. Not a surprise. Okay, well... Well, and anyone who doesn't know how to play against Taxes and is at all serious about playing Comp REL, they will learn rather quickly, right? I mean, it's not something you can sustainably fail at. Okay. They have to choose between replaying the... oh, I should have attacked there. With what? Nope, shouldn't have attacked. They have to choose between replaying the Censor and attacking the equipping the Batterskull, which I assume they will play the Mind Censor. Yeah. Oh, no, they're equipping the Batterskull. Okay. So I can, in fact, play a Kiki-Jiki this turn if I draw it. So I'm going to let it hit my Teferi. If they have Path to Exile, they have Path to Exile. I'm not going to beat that, but could end up winning the game on the spot here. Why are they attacking with this? I need the Mind Censor off the table, though, because otherwise I can't win offbeat. Oh, no! I'm so... Why do they keep doing that? It's very annoying. God damn it. Oh, they're attacking me? Oh, because now I have to block. Alright, well, we need to draw Bring to Light right now. It's really nothing else is going to do it. Or Evo, maybe? Yeah, well, there's the Bring to Light. So I can destroy everything but Teferi. All the creatures. I can't believe I had to lose the rest of there. I can do this at instant speed, though. But I can't let them play the Mind Censor. But they'll play the Mind Censor before combat, I assume. Go Verdict, you get dudes. Yeah, I just want to see if they play anything before combat. Yeah. They shouldn't, but if they do... If I let them untap, I die? Why? Got an instant speed Bring to Light. What are they going to do? They don't have a vial. They can't put anything in. Got it. Boosh. What could I be getting? Deadly Vanity. Whee! Alright. Still likely dead, but possibly not. Oh my god. Brutal. Gideon, and the other card is the Aven Mind Sensor that they didn't play and doesn't have flash right now. Interesting. They did forget Mind Sensor. They forgot it didn't have flash, I assume. Wait, I can kill the Gideon, right? I should do. They could pick up the Batterskull. Maybe that's their plan. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing here. They played the hell out of this game. Maybe they weren't expecting to get Wrath, and they're kind of tilted now. Yeah, it seems like it. Sleep at the wheel over there in the crucial moment. Well, they can play the Mind Sensor, just not at instant speed, right? Yeah. No, this is just... Okay. Wait, what? Why would you lead on that? Now you can't play the Mind Sensor. I mean, maybe they're just going to equip the Batterskull, but... I have a Teferi. Did you just die? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Not quite, but almost. I don't know. I mean, they haven't said they are. So I think I have to Ephemerate my Windborn Muse on the block. I mean, I don't have to do that, but I think that's what I'm going to do. We'll see where we end up after that. What are they doing? Mm-hmm. Gotta pay for that. Did they just not pay for that, though? The field and the canopy were for the... Oh! Yeah. God, that's such a stupid rule. That's an incredibly stupid rule. Yeah. It's like, what's... True Name Nemesis. I hate True Name Nemesis. God, I hate True Name Nemesis. Not because the card. The card doesn't really bother me at all. It's the way the card works with the rules that is just not the way that is written. That is not what protection from target player should do. If it wants to be what it says it is, it should be protection from target player and permanents they control. Very much opinion, but... You gotta pay for that. Well, they only get to gain 6 here, because they kill my creature with the first strike. I have a lot of blocks, so in theory we can stay alive for a little while. Okay. The biggest problem I'm gonna have is they're gonna play the Archon next. And the Archon is going to stop me from playing Bring to Light. Think their strategy is to clock me? I mean, no. Their strategy was never to clock me. Never. No. That's not true at all. I don't think so. They were always trying to win. They were just doing it really badly for a little while. I think they maybe got tilted off by the Wrath, but it's fine. Their deck is more than good enough against us. Can't really win that matchup. Yeah, I think they just got tilted and they just started playing super loose. It didn't matter though. Like they got to keep all the equipment after that Wrath, and we had nothing. We had a Teferi with 1 loyalty and no cards in hand, basically. This drew too many mana dorks. Like Davius put in the Hierarchs because it increases your creature density and it gives you more acceleration on turn 1. I don't like it so far. Instead of Abundant Growth. I also don't like that it doesn't tap for red. There were multiple turns there where I wouldn't have been able to play Kiki-Jiki, and I had like 7 mana. I mean, they did draw an absolutely obscene hand. They had triple Skyclave, but they're also playing a 60-card deck with 4 Skyclaves, so that's going to happen more often. So far, our Ephemerates have been kind of terrible. No, Texas is not a mediocre deck. It's a very good deck. I like a lot of the things about it. I like it better in Legacy, because in Legacy it's a lot more honest. The problem with modern Taxes is that Leonid Arbiter exploits a variance in the metagame that I think is just not fun for anyone, really. And it is maybe specifically because I play decks with like more fetch lands on average, because I like to play 4 or 5 colors whenever I can. But it's mostly that like almost every deck plays fetch lands, and like everyone has stories of their opponent just plays Leonid Arbiter on the play, and they didn't sort of adjust for it, or maybe they couldn't. Maybe they kept a hand that was 3 fetch lands, and they're just never able to put a second land into play that's relevant. And it's like, that's not what that card was meant to do. That's not what anyone builds their decks to play around or against. That's just not. And maybe people do adjust their lists when Taxes is popular. I'm not 100% sure that they don't, but yeah, Arbiter. I mean, no, Arbiter into GQ is at least synergistic, but hosing your opponent's deck for just playing cards that everyone's playing in Modern, which is like fetch lands, is just one of those things that I'm like, that's really not. That's not what I'm here to do, you know. And if you're here to do that, super, that's awesome. But it's just not how I'm here to play Magic. I say that though, and I'm a person who plays Enigmatic Incarnation, grabs Magus of the Moon at my end step. So who am I to judge? More Yund? Yeah, like you have to play the Arbiters. I mean, you can't not play the Arbiter. That's the thing. Like they have to do that. You wouldn't see Arbiter getting played. No, and you don't see it getting played in Legacy because they have Wasteland. So they just have better things to be doing. Oh, I meant to play Wall of Blossoms there. Whoops. It's fine. We'll be fine. If I was going to do that, I should have played the Forest afterwards. I was worried about diversifying my colors for potentially playing Omnath next turn, but it's cool. They're going to Liliana me anyway here. Oh, no, they're not. Bye, Omnath, I assume. Right, but that's the point, Offbeat. That's literally my point, is that nobody's going to stop playing fetches in Modern. You just have to take it as something that's going to happen to you from time to time and learn to play against it the best you can. And I will totally say, like, some of the matches against Taxes. No, I know you're memeing, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's not a great joke when I was like specifically making that point. Lightning Bolt and Fatal Push are definitely good Arbiter cures. Those are facts. These are the facts, people. All right. Draw is really not coming together this game. I need blue off the top. Blue off the top will change things a lot, but without that, could be in a sticky spot in a second. A secondary sticky spot soon. Secondarily sticky spot soon. Something like that. I don't know. Wow! That's fun. Yeah, I mean, the thing in his hands, it's a very interesting deck. I like it overall. It's just the way Arbiter interacts with fetch lands is just really, really brutal, and it's not fun for a lot of I don't know the way to play the game. But like once you get into the mid game of Taxes, it's really, really quite fantastically interesting sometimes. All the counterplay, all the ways things go back and forth, using Flicker Wisp on Leon and Arbiter, like that stuff's cool. It's just when the game gets shut down from turn 2 because someone played a 2/2 for 2. Like that is a terrible, terrible land to draw. Good lord. All right. Well, if they ran in 6 Emblem, I'm toast here, but best Taxes deck in Modern is M. Hayashi Piles Fight Me. Are you talking about the mono red deck, Shauna? How are you categorizing that as a Taxes deck? Because I might agree with you, but yeah, big red. I mean, it plays very similar to a Taxes deck, right? It's kind of mopey in general, but it just grinds you down. I really like that deck. That's something that I would love to learn to play properly, because when I get beat by the people who are good with it, like they're so freaking patient. It's like the next level control. Like some of the players who play that deck are so freaking good. See, there's a good meme, Offbeat. Burn is the best Taxes deck. It taxes your opponent's life total. I think you guys are all missing that Control is the best Taxes deck because it taxes your opponent's patience. Okay. Secondary Prison Plan. 4 Blood Moons in the main deck is not secondary. We used to have stupid discussions like this when I was working at the LGS, where it'd be like, this deck is like a combo deck because that. This deck is a control deck because that. This deck is a tempo deck because of that. It's like always wonderful piles of nonsense. Yeah, Roy, what is that about? Jesus. Come on, Roy. Okay, so if they have a land in hand, the Ren and 6 Emblem's going to kill me, plus with the Clothis. Unless. Okay, Skyclave. Get rid of that. And then in theory, next turn we can do something about something. I don't know what life gain I have. Oh, I have Charming Princes. So assuming that I don't die this turn, we have Charming Princes. Tron's a combo deck. Yeah, I mean, that one's like really not a joke, right? Tron is a combo deck. Were Prison is a combo deck with sadness. Combos with sadness. This is accurate. Actually, if I got a couple more turns here without them doing too much, we can just win. They don't necessarily have a land in their hand right now. Bands with Frustration. That's great. Actually, I have an Omnath in my hand. If I draw a fetch land, I can gain a lot of life. Is there KCOM? KCOM, for sure. I think I want to flicker my Angel, or flicker my Skyclave by playing the Angel. Yeah, I do. Good draw. Thing is, if they want to kill me with bolts right now, they need to find more red mana. But more red mana has to be in the form of lands, and lands are spells to them right now, so they're kind of catch-22. Let's see what they play. That's scary. Not scared of much in this world, but that thing scares me. They want to play the Fatal Push in their graveyard with... Yeah, the deck has 3 evolutions, yeah. What's up, Last God? It's been a minute. They shot... Oh, they had the Stomping Ground in their hand. Interesting. Yeah. Playing a lot of auto chess. Interesting. That's a huge draw. Is it? No, not really. Yes, it is. So they can play Bolt, Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, any of that. Colligan's. Well, they can play Bolt or Fatal Push. Bolt will kill the Kiki, unfortunately. So what I need to do is get something that gets me land drops, and that is we're going to bring to light for Witness. Witness is going to pick up a land. Oh, but then I can't also play the Omnath this turn. Shoot. Rip a fetch off the Omnath? I mean, I guess that's the way to do it, right? Because, like, the spells they have don't kill the Omnath. True daddy. Big Omnath daddy. The furthest thing from a fetch, basically, huh? I'm just attacking them for 3. Yeah, we gotta fade for another turn. No, we're dead, right? No, they played the Stomping... Did they pick up a land that's in their hand right now? No, they put the Stomping Ground in. If they have a land in their hand, though, I'm just dead, so... We'll see. Valki can check if we're dead or not, exactly. Am I dead? Bloodstained Mire, Maelstrom Pulse. Yeah, we're dead. Easy peasy. We had a very mediocre draw where our colors were super messed up, and they had a turn 2 red and 6. They didn't even have a fetch land with it, like, ever. So, it was pretty unfortunate. I think I took out Paths, or I think I brought in Paths last time. Apparition should be able to discuss emblems. Listen, Apparition already murdered my boy Urza. I don't need more victims. This is 100% the way I sideboarded last time, I think. Very close to it, at least. The previous gen player we played against did not have the guts to stay into a lot of games, though. Yep, keep that. It's not great, but all right. I'm gonna get green blue just because I got screwed over not having blue mana last game. There we go. Fix it already. I'm a genius. I'm a self-proclaimed genius. Goodness gracious. 2 for 2 on drawing our Valki. Love it. Take the wall. Gosh, that's upsetting. They took the Valki. That's great. Man, that's so good for me. Why is that so good for me? I don't like this. I have concerns. Oh, we're cantripping a lot. That is a sweet swamp. Thank you, said McKinnon. The hell? They pillaged me. Well, that's incredibly rude. Good lord. All right, well then. I'm against some kind of maniac, I see. The Seb McKinnon Secret Lair, Roy. It's 4 incredibly dissociated cards. It's like Swamp, Damnation, Sower of Temptation, and something. And it's just sort of, he was allowed to pick whatever he wanted, do it however he wanted. Damn. Oof. Not drawn so hot over here. I mean, Zurion's going to draw me 3 cards, which is great, but... My favorite thing about the full text basics is the fact that that was like a meme for years. Like, people had been mocking those up as a joke for years. My second favorite thing about it is it says tapping requires tapping the thing by 90 degrees and means its abilities can't be used again. I'm just like, Magic Arena, pay attention. Listen here, Magic Arena. Tapping is 90 degrees. 15 degree tap. I'll play that. Homie, don't play that. All right. Yeah, they printed full text basics. Yeah. Should not have put that on the red land. Also, should have gone for red. I should have put the color red on my blue-green land, but regardless. But we're here now. Their Colossus will likely be attacking next turn. We're in a state. I need to draw Ephemerate, Charming Prince. There's Fahrenheit or Celsius on what? Oh, you're right. I could have fixed my Sprawl. Because I'm bad at Magic sometimes, Last God. And I didn't realize while I was talking about how I wish my Sprawl was different that I had a way to make my Sprawl different. I don't know what to tell you. Interesting choice. Very well. I will discard. I can fix it this turn, though. Those are some big boys. That's a very good draw. All right. We should win this. They need a pretty specific draw here to beat me. Can't even imagine what it is, but it could happen. No, I really can't think of what it would be. No, that's definitely not it. Okay, so I have Forest in my deck. I can play this. They're not going to draw a card in response or anything. Yeah, we got this. They're done. That's game. Combo. Right here. Right here. Right here in this game of Magic the Gathering. Combo. 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 Concede? Concede! Yeah. I guess I want more ramp on the draw and just pray they don't have turn 2 Ren and 6. Like, just keep the ramp. I have many thoughts about the full text basics, Roy. The biggest, boldest one is that they're obscenely overcosted. People will pay it. People will pay it. But that doesn't mean that it's correct. They're overpriced. Sorry. Like, in a financial sense. I should have played the Foothills to search for the Savai Triome. Can I do that on this hand? Yeah, I can. Oh, I might do it this turn. Yep. Right. Correct. It's just, it's one of those things, and I figured out what it is, but they release so many more products now, and the advertising is so much louder than it was when I was young, and well, when you were younger, that it's just, I feel like we're just bombarded with this sort of FOMO, the fear of missing out. And so, that was a good draw. Oh, yeah. Oh. So it used to be a much higher proportion of all of the things that came out were not aimed at specific audiences. So they didn't need to tell anyone it wasn't for them because everything had to be in the same box. Inquisition. Yeah, that sucks. Bye, Witness. No, FOMO can still be about products, Roy. It's not just about people. It's just the idea, like, if you're not doing something, you're losing. When the truth of the matter is, even if you choose to do something, that meant no matter what, you chose to do that instead of something else. So, Auriok. Oh my god. Blech. At least I have this Skyclave, but jeez. I already have double white covered. Let's get some blue. No, I have blue, green. So red then. Okay. You share people's interests in and priorities in Auriok. You're a great big Auriok fan. Oh no. Lightning Bolt? Swamp. Are you kidding me? Oh. Alright. Inquisition, Pillage, Bloodbraid into Auriok. Can't beat that one. So we got beat by taxes. Took one game off this gen player, lost the other gen player. I haven't been feeling this build. There's too much fluff here for me. maybe it's a luck thing, but yeah, I mean, but that's the thing, Roy, is like you need to be boarding it in the right places. People are playing Bring to Light. Yeah, it's a great card. It's very good against Nim, is it? I mean, it's not that good. It's pretty good. It dies to a lot of their removal fairly quickly, so it's not perfect, but Dieu feu feu is our opponent. Dieu feu feu. The 4-color Reclaimer deck. Yeah. I got something for you, friend. Say 4 colors. This is gonna be the 5-color BTL Reclaimer deck, most likely. Gonna be a tricky game 1 unless we find a Teferi. Gosh darn it. Why? So many games in a row now. What are you doing here, you nerd? Now they're gonna play their Teferi. Or Dryad. Valakut. Okay. Mediocre. Probably have Remand in hand, which I can't do too much about at the moment. Jeez. Why? Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Ooh. Okay. Now we're cooking with propane. Uh-oh. So they have counter magic they didn't bother playing, or they're going to play their removal piece now? Not that they need to, because this only takes creatures. Although if I take a Dryad and they... Oh, no! Wait, that's perfect. Oh, no, nothing, Zach. Oh, no, nothing. They have nothing in their hand. I don't know. Stone Rain them. Unfortunately, I don't have an Ephemerate. It only buys me the one turn. Oh, yeah. Well. So, they do have a Windswept Heath. They cycle the Triome. And their hand is 2 Bring to Lights, Heath, and an Unknown. Soon to be 2 unknowns. Yeah. So I have a second Charming Prince, 3 Ephemerates, and 3 Teferi Time Ravelers to draw to. I'm going to keep him in play. Although having to pay the red. No, because this gets blue if I need it. Jeez. Not what you wanted to see, huh? Alright. Not sure what they're going to bring to life for next turn. I'm assuming just Valki and then eat my Avalanche Riders and then kind of in trouble. But I guess the Prince could kill it. It's possible they didn't hit the untap land they needed. Their mana base is a little shaky sometimes, but bag. Bajuka bag. Alright. I've been bogged. That is not any of the things that definitely mean they have the action they need. Come on, baby. Hold together. Mediocre creature aggro is engage. Pew 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 pew. It's a phenomenal draw. Although it doesn't really help. Oh, it does, because if they BTL and they try to take my riders, we just blow them out. And then we just kill them. I guess it's possible these decks play a Wrath. I have Modern League. Melton. In the main deck, they are in fact playing a Verdict. So I can't count on. I think I have to just jam. Okay. If they found Remand or anything, I'm screwed. No, they're screwed. They're so screwed. Oh my god. Jesus. Bring my creatures back. This one kills that land. This one exiles that one. That one. I guess they have another untapped land they could BTL here. But then I have Urian to put them to 1. Oh no, kill them if they play the BTL. Which they may or may not be able to play for 4. Or yeah, for 4. White, red, green, black. But they don't have blue. Blue, then they have to shock. Then they're definitely dead. Neat. Hey, Lamau. There we go. All right. Back in a second, folks. Stick with it. Oh, although Alex, you're here. So you remember the Narset policy change, I'm sure. With the sort of most significant part of that being, if I control an effect that is stopping my opponent from doing something, they will not receive game rule violations for trying to do that thing if I don't stop them, right? In fact, I think I can even get GRV'd for that, right? If I don't properly try to mitigate the way they're I don't know, ignoring my static effect. Is this correct? It's a double GRV? It might be. But there's now some onus on the player who's the controller of the static ability. I don't think it's a double GRV. I think double GRVs are incredibly rare. Although I remember Mike was like a champion of like, there should be more double GRVs. God, this Valky, man. I'm keeping this hand though, because it's just generally good, but goodness gracious. Valky likes to be in every hand I draw, I swear. I swear. I swear to ye. Message Michael Hill, why? It's disturbing. Tag me in Judge Chat. Okay, good. Judge Chat in color. Well, those are both phenomenal draws. However, don't really need the other Wall of Blossoms. Although it's Sacrificial Body, maybe. Okay. We're going to go top. So I already have Avalanche Riders to play next turn, depending on what they do. Although if they bounce my Hierarch, then I can get the other Avalanche Riders by evoing my Charming Prince, which is pretty good. Getting them off their lands is super relevant, and then so is killing the Teferi that they would play at that point. Although if they bounce my Hierarch, the Charming Prince just kills their Teferi anyway, so they'd be using it as a tempo play more than anything else. So I wonder at that point if that's correct. Let's see. I see their play is Remand. We'll definitely not be evolutioning anything this turn. Avalanche Rider. Remand. Yeah. Kill Surprise. Not really. Smash. Charming Prince is go. Make Rock a go now. Yeah. Alright, crush me. Crush me, daddy. Oh my god, they didn't have it. Unreal. Boosh! Get dunked on. Nice green mana nerd. And hit him for 2. Gotta add the injury to the insult. Beep whoop. Beep Whoop. All right, let's just top deck a land. Top deck land, then top deck. No, Ephemerate doesn't do it. Top deck land, then we'll figure it out. Yeah, Alex, I mean, I already posted about it, asking Janice sort of long form. I was like, was there any policy change to Lane and Arbor in the last few years? And apparently there hasn't been, so. They didn't have it last turn, so they won't have it this turn. Blue, red, no, blue, white? I don't have blue, white. I need blue. It's gotta be blue. Can't get blue red, so we'll just get blue green. Man, I wish I could get anything else, but gotta have blue for the future. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, they were saying that that was what happened. I was just trying to verify whether or not that was correct or possible that that would be happening. And obviously it's possible. I mean, judges make mistakes all the time. But SCG Open, I would have thought, what the hell did they... Vanishing Verse. You got him. Nice spell. No. They didn't say they were disqualified. They said that they were on the, like, they were getting GRV to the point of, like, being, but not. I mean, I guess the way I phrased it could have been better. But, no, if they had Mystical Dispute, they could have played it. Perfect. Plus. Yeah, I mean, obviously there would have to be some stuff. It's not like they were totally detailed, but, like, the fact that they were getting GRVs at all, right? Like, it doesn't matter to what extent, really. Like, you're getting lost in the weeds. The point is, was it possible that they're misremembering the situation? Probably, because I don't think that would have been the case at all. I just don't imagine any world in which someone would be getting GRV'd for not reminding their opponent about their static effect in such a way that, like, in the way that Arbiter works, especially. I've seen someone GRV'd out of a match too, but it's usually the person playing against the Arbiter, not the person playing the Arbiter, right? And not for something that isn't their responsibility. I mean, unless what they're doing is, like, unless what they're getting GRV'd for is allowing the opponent to search. But the opponent's the one making the violation, they're just not calling it. Nice. That sounds like a lot of typing. Were they all the same GRVs, or were they, like, all different? It's a good card if I draw land. It's a good card if I draw land. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Oh my god, it's so good. Oh, that was the weak year concussion, huh? Okay. You can get an island here, right? I can, yeah. It's not great, but could be. Alright, opponent. Now if you have a lightning bolt, you have to decide. What do you want? Mana? Or would you like to destroy my Teferi? You have a choice to make, opponent. Choose wisely. Choose wisely. I was gonna say, how hard is that comb, dude? Good choice. Oh, double bolt, do they? What the hell is this? Oh, right. Should have got the second white. Yep. I was hoping the Magus would stick, but it didn't. However. Yeah, I'm already through both my Avalanche Riders, and they have enough mana now. It doesn't matter anyway. Although getting a Resto, I can't win the game because I don't have enough red mana. Shoot. Yeah, I mean, coming and going, opponent. Coming and going. I think I have to Eldritch Evolution with just like a Skyclave, which is going to kind of suck. I guess I could go for Witness. And it's none of it's going to matter if they have Scape Shift. As long as they're not BTLing for the Scape Shift. I guess they're not playing that many, like 1 or 2. So we'll see what happens. Can block with the Wall of Omens and get... Uh-oh. Do I eat their Omnath in response to the fetch? Yeah, probably should. If they have the Scape Shift, I'm dead either way. There's nothing I can get to stop them, so... what are you doing there, friend? Cycling a Shark Typhoon? Okay. Interesting choice. So I assume this means they're going to Scape Shift me. And there isn't anything I could have done about it anyway, so I'm not worried. They do have to get a second green to do it, but we'll see if they have it. Any lessons learned? I really don't like this build. That's the only lesson. I don't like the Hierarchs instead of the Abundant Growths. We haven't even played against any Lavadart decks, and some of my Urians were very sad, which happens anyway. But Rider has been great. Ephemerate has the same problem it did before, but I think with the move away from Abundant Growth, the deck hit the point of having too many cards that were all about synergy and not enough cards that were individually strong. So, like, you added a second Charming Prince. Charming Prince is pretty poor on its own. It's great if you can combine it with a Skyclave Apparition, but if sometimes you only have one creature in play to synergize all of your like flicker effects and stuff with in any relevant way, and your opponent just kills it, and you're like, oh, damn. And so moving from Abundant Growth to less cards that have triggers was, and like Charming Prince is not great on its own. Ephemerate was already kind of put, like, I remember initially why you didn't want to add Ephemerate was this kind of problem, and it is powerful enough that it's worth it if you don't push the numbers too far. I don't think that this build is necessarily bad at all, and the extra acceleration is good sometimes, but I don't like making the deck even more vulnerable to Lava Darts and Red and Sixes, and but that's, I mean, it hasn't really been a problem. Like, I crushed the first gen player. I barely lost to the Taxes player. No, I got 2-0'd by the Taxes player, but they were both good games. The Wrath was insane, except that my board was terrible. It was like 4 walls and 3 Noble Hierarchs and a Teferi. So when I Wrath them, they got to keep all of their equipment, so that as soon as they played any creature, they just started beating the hell out of me. The Avalanche Riders have completely sacked this 5-color Scapeshift, BTL Scapeshift player, though. They've been getting stomped by it. I really do not care for this card. I don't know why people are playing this. Yeah, the Wrath creature definitely seems like it has potential, for sure. And especially with Teferi being able to go BTL for Evo, or sorry, instant speed Evo or instant speed. You don't think you'll run too many riders if you don't have Ephemerate. That's fair. Teferi making your BTL or your evolution instant speed to Wrath or get the protective creature at instant speed is really good. So just play the Scapeshift, right? But do they have enough mountains left? Maybe they didn't. 1, 2, 3. Like, they should have enough lands here to kill me. Maybe they don't. If they're not sacking everything, that means they don't. Oh, they have flagstones, though. So they could get... No, they can't. Can they get the second Valakut? I'm not sure. And their Savai Triome is in the graveyard, which is their mountain that is a plains. Interesting. And so is the Ketria Triome. Because they only run like 7 or 8 mountains in that deck. So they might actually be in trouble here. Okay. So they sacrificed 4. They need 4 to come into play. That's going to deal 12. Then the next one's going to deal another 3. And if they get a second Valakut, I don't know if they can do enough damage here. We'll see. Nope. Oh, yes. 4 triggers. Oh, they got... Wait, what? Oh, there's the flagstones. 5 triggers. Okay, we're going to 1. Or they can kill some of my creatures. Nope, they couldn't do it. I mean, but I was going to 1 with that, right? I wasn't going to die to that, Dave. Even if they had it, which I assumed that they had, but they didn't, I wasn't going to die to it. So, no, don't. I mean, it's nothing to worry about. Yeah, I screwed up my mana somewhere here. Oh, it was when I got this. But they have 1 card in hand, but they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mountains. So let's do this first. If that was an abundant growth, it would fix everything. Yeah, that's the plan. That's exactly what I was going to do, Dave. I mean, if they have Bolt plus land, we're good, but we die, but they might be totally shot on mountains, to be honest. If they're not, if they had Dryad there, that would have been poor. Now we're off to the races. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, red. And I can just pass the turn here with the plus on Teferi. I mean, I could fetch and then grab the Urian. I probably should, because I'm going to fetch on this cycle anyway. Although I don't want to shock. But I do want more red, because that's... Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, no, it's okay. It's fine. Not plussing the Teferi is not a big deal. I have a backup. They double bolt would kill it anyway. Okay. Misty Rainforest. Scary. What they bolt here will be telling. I'm assuming it's going upstairs? It's going to the Teferi. Okay. Interesting. Aha. Okay. You know what we're doing. So I have triple red. We're hard casting Valki. You all know what time it is. He's pulling out of the underworld. You all know what that means. It's time for another Tybalt the Cosmic Imposter. Oh, Valkut. Don't mind if I do. That was a fantastic draw, because that means they're down one, and I think they only play two. Yoink! That, I don't know if it's going to get better than that. We got a BTL. Was it mine or theirs? Yeah, they conceded. It didn't tell me, but I think that was theirs. Oh, that's so good. I like this deck list a lot. A lot. Sorry, this archetype. But I think the specifics of this list, I think the hierarchs are BTL for Resto and Kiki there. Yeah, we could have done, for sure. I think the hierarchs are not where I want to be. But it was worth running the experiment. And like they have been sort of maybe relevant sometimes, but the problem is in most of the creature matchups, like you just don't need to go any faster. Uh-oh. Man, you're a machine. Oh my god, what the hell? Slither Wisp. So there's a, what's it called in this deck, right? Oh my god. I can't even begin to process this right now. Why is this doing all the sweet things it's doing? So Esper Lutri. Wild. Oh, dude, he's amazing. Against Stadler and Wulfdorf. Ephemerate Cloud Shift is a Lutri combo. What do you mean? Because Lutri only copies stuff if you cast the Lutri, right? If you flicker Lutri, it won't fork stuff or won't copy stuff. Yeah, they covered that when they did it on Faithless Brewing. In fact, that was I was gonna actually, yeah, Narumeha works, but I I was on Faithless Brewing the first episode that I was on as a guest, and that was the topic was Lutri, and we covered that. And Dave actually had a deck that he plays to this day, sometimes in Pioneer and with Narumeha and that kind of combo. I know. It's super frustrating because the card is not good, right? Like it's not bad. It was like pretty damn good with the Companion era, but like it is one of those things where you're like, why would they? What? Like it wasn't good enough for that. That's not necessary. What? What are you thinking, sir? So you know, it's just one of those things, I guess. Pre-banning commander. That's bullshit. No, I'm not doing Magus against blue red. They have all their mana up, dude. Nothing. I'm not jamming Eldritch into their open mana, and I'm not getting Magus against a lightning bolt deck that hasn't used any lightning bolts yet. I think that's pretty loose. I need them to like have a crappy opening where they sort of do something that they're sort of vulnerable, because I think they're playing the Prismari Command Emrakul through the Breach deck that I've been playing a lot of. Obviously not the specific list or anything, but so like this is a way I might be able to crack them open here, because they're incentivized to deal with that, but they might be incentivized to deal with that too. I don't have enough mana to Evo off of it, but don't Valky now? I mean, yeah, I understand that, but okay. I'm going to listen to you, but let it be known that I think there's value here in making them spend mana. Pick up Urian. I have 7 cards in hand. I know it's mana inefficient, but maybe they will respect the open mana. I don't really think grabbing Urian in this matchup is going to be a big deal at any point. It's just not the way this game is fought. Maybe I'm wrong. I just feel like tapping down entirely and being like, yo, I don't have anything is like a really bad idea against a deck like this, where like they may not know exactly what we're up to, so they may be trying to position themselves so they have extra cards to get through what we're going to do. I suppose They could be playing Mana Leak. I wasn't, but they could be. I really don't want to see Remand, because Remand means I don't get to do anything this turn. Tap more. Tap more. More. Tap more. Do it harder. More. You want to see it. What? They had the combo. They could have jammed. So they have Cryptic. And the problem now is if I Evo, I lose. If I don't Evo, I lose. So maybe if I play Evo, they just counter it and bounce my Valky and we lose. But there's nothing for it. There's nothing else I can do. So play the Evolution. We'll see what they do. It's possible they make a mistake here with the Cryptic. They need to go counterbounce. Yep. All right. That's the game. What is your prediction? That's a terrible time for the prediction, dude. You don't like Windborn? I don't love it, but I feel like it's going to be better than something in our deck. Like, Skyclave is just terrible in this matchup. Just awful. Like, this is one of the few times that's true, but Scavenging Ooze is fine. Voice is fine. Magus is fine. Glyphweaver is pretty pointless. Oh, I don't know if we had the instant side. No. I can leave one. But I don't foresee them boarding into something that Skyclave manages to hose. Valky's pretty bad in this matchup, but so are most of the walls. Yeah, no, I understand the kind of cards they could board into. I just don't think they will. I think those decks, the Breach deck is very well positioned right now, and boarding in one Jace or something like that is just like, it's pretty pointless when your deck already beats Heliod and kind of BTL or Time Warp. Rather than what? A wall? You want to keep one more wall? Sure. Cut the Time Warp. Because BTL is Unmoored Ego here, so it's pretty good. I think the key is to curve low. I mean, that's the dream, right? But they're very ready for that. I mean, Prowess is probably the most viable archetype in Magic right now. Prowess and Burn are just very, very good at their jobs. So these guys are ready for it, in theory. Yeah, I mean, our hand is kind of the nuts. If it all works out, this is going to be insane. If they're ready for Monastery, they're ready for Windborn. Wall of Omens, not the same kind of thing. Well, no, the Windborn Muse is just for the fact that either I end up with it in play in a way that they weren't planning for, which, yeah, it makes their combo cost 7, exactly. Or if I have the ability to Evo into it at instant speed and they're not expecting it, they go to combat, I'm like, oh, by the way, pay 2. And then they just wasted an Emrakul. Yeah. You got to think of your Teferis with Bring to Light and your Teferis with Evo as, like, some of the most brutal things this deck. Stonehorn Dignitary. Yeah, I saw someone saying it, and yeah, that is a thing that people have done for a long time, and that's the reason I wanted to try the Windborn Muse that you put in, is because, well, people have been doing Stonehorn Dignitary forever, and I'm like, well, sure you could, but that's boring. Everyone's been doing that. I don't want to burn this Avalanche Riders on nothing. I wonder if I can do this. Land. Land. That's like a land. I want to draw Veil of Summer. Yeah, that time it was correct. That time it was 100% correct, and I just missed it. You're right. Yep. He really would have done it. He's not messing around, dude. Attack for 1 is fine. Yeah, I mean, you can always count on me to miss value attacks. If there's any attack for 1 I could get, I'll miss it basically 100% of the time. Yeah, Teferi's not that good in this matchup. I think you prefer Riders? The thing about Riders is if the Teferi resolves, then I can play the Riders. If the Riders resolve, it doesn't mean I can play the Teferi, and the Teferi is not actually all that useful. This matchup feels impossible. I know that's what they want it to feel like from the other side of the table, but yeah, of course. They haven't even had to play much. Like, they really... Our deck's just not aggressive enough. Getting Orion is basically irrelevant. So, let's just see if we're dead, I guess. I will Ephemerate on their end step. What is it going to draw me for 2 mana? Like, I don't... Voice? I mean, Voice is not winning this game here. We're just literally dead on board if we just like play a Voice. And I guess the idea is like, well, yeah, but if we're not, then we actually get to do stuff. Rather this resolve though. Which this? Remand. Oh, Aether Gust. Jeez. I think that is a really, really, really poor matchup unless you have like the nuts. It's way harder for us to have exactly what we need there. We had so much action, but it just didn't matter because it was all 3, 4, 5 mana. Hey Liz. Picked a bad moment to show up. I really don't like the Hierarchs in this deck. Yeah, oh yeah, we learned, exactly. The deck was fine, but like this version that we were playing before, this was a lot better. How do you use sounds with channel points? There is a hold on before I do that. So yeah, we learned some lessons about Davius Minimus's BTL Kiki-Valki deck. I am not a fan of pushing too hard for speed. I hate it actually. I understand the appeal, but for my money, I would rather play Abundant Growth every time. There were multiple times we were running into mana issues. Multiple times I felt incentivized to fetch shock lands that were doing more damage to me than I would otherwise enjoy. I don't think it's wrong to try to get another birds in here. I just don't think the way we went about doing it there. I don't think getting 3 more accelerants in there is maybe where I want to be. I think we have to trust that the walls help us mitigate the early aggro, and that the birds and the Utopia Sprawl are enough acceleration. Now, maybe that's not true, but that's just the way I'm happier to play this deck. Maybe I'm settling for mediocrity and I need to learn how to be a better aggressive sort of combo player. But when you're in this many colors too, like the Abundant Growth smoothing things over, making you take less damage, being able to go on fetch lands, being able to go on basics, so that when you Magus to the Moon, you will have better mana set up, is something that I just value. Time Warp is nonsense. That's fair. But I mean, so is Primal Command in its way. And theoretically, it can be very strong. But yeah, you need to have stuff in play first. You like the Primal Command? Well, let's get it back in here. I like the Primal Command too. And like it has value against things like Dredge, which are more popular than ever all of a sudden. So like, why not? There's a sweet version of it from the thing. Look at that. I'm not playing it, but you know. Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think a lot of the other changes here are very interesting. It would be worth trying out in an arrangement that I like more. I don't know that Ephemerate is worth playing, but I feel like 1 or 2 would be good. I think I don't like the extra Charming Prince much at all, personally. I put in a Scavenging Ooze. It was never relevant in a good or bad way. It was a 2/2 for 2 against taxes that just got killed. You're going back to not playing Ephemerate. I think that's totally fair. And I think if you did that, I think you could play the Nobles or other things, because it was just the Nobles plus the Ephemerates was just too many cards. Like that specific game we just played, right? The Ephemerates functioned as like really slow synergistic divinations, which would be good if our deck was able to support them, but in that game it wasn't, and especially against our opponent's strategy. But also, if you take out the Ephemerates, you have more room for cards that aren't synergistic. Cut the Rider for second Omnath. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of how you had it before, I think. Add the fourth Teferi. Yeah, the fourth Teferi is very good. I mean, basically what you're doing is you're reverting from here back to here, with maybe a few additions. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Actually, this one had 4 birds and 4 Utopia Sprawls. So this plus the Wrath, yeah. I think that's not a bad thing. Probably the Wrath instead of Knight of Autumn. Yeah. And I think I like that. I mean, I like this list. I like this list a lot. This was basically what I wanted to play this again in the current meta and see how it was. Because with Dredge around, it's an interesting idea to test it again with Dredge and some of the other decks that have popped up more recently. Anywho, I am going to be taking a break for a couple hours, but anyone who's on the future watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, check out any other videos you're interested in, and I'll see you over there. And for everyone live, this is it for me for now, but I will be back in a few hours for some evening stream. We're going to have the song request things on and all of that stuff. Oh, man, dude, I like this deck a lot. So for anyone who is... I didn't love the tweaks of that version, but I like this deck a lot. Expect to see more of it out of me. I've been liking a lot of Restoration Kiki-Jiki decks, and I really like Bring to Light as a tutor. I never played this deck yet with the 3rd Eldritch Evolution, or this particular configuration seems really good to me. So I'm excited to try it again with Selfless Glyphweaver and other possible changes due to the